Hi, everyone. It looks like we're live, but I'm going to double check.
Yeah, I think we are. All right. Sorry, we're 2 minutes late because we had a little breakdown to go live. I don't know if we're live. I don't see myself on the thing. I just see a post I shared about a chicken.
I see us here. I have us.
Oh, you do? All right. Hello, darling.
Hi, Sophie. Hey, everyone.
Hello. So today we decided to talk about denial, right? And
Right.
so I am fully into denial, Abby. So everybody, should I say something about my hair?
Yes.
All right. Well, I decided to go to stop going to the hairdresser, frankly. And if there is any hairdresser listening to me, I don't have anything against hairdresser, but I have so much white hair that I had to go every 3 weeks. And I am in this glorious little island in the middle of the Mediterranean where I wear only jeans and sneakers. And I'm all about nature. There is no noise. There is hardly any cars. And I just thought, okay, I am not dyeing my hair anymore. So I went white. And the thing about it, right? So you have to tell me if you like it, because of course my big fear was to look much older. And, but that's where my inquiry about denial started, because a friend of mine reacted to me going white, right? So she said, you can't do that, you can't do that, you're going to look so old. And I noticed that most people, Abby, and you wouldn't know that yet because from the use of being 30, you might not understand. But as you grow older, there is, like very much in human being, there is the tendency to hold on to what you're losing, and everybody is going to lose youth, right? There is whatever you do to hold on to it, it's going to go.
Yeah. No matter what.
No matter what, physically, right? So when I did that, and I did an enormous amount about aging, right? I really did. I don't have much problem. I actually feel better at 60 than I did before, right? So I don't have much problem with it. I don't feel old. I like that. But when I went white, it was like a declaration to the world. I am embracing what is. And I am stunned. Do you know the other time I had that experience was when I got married?
Really?
Yeah. So I was with my husband for 7 years, and then I got married. And I did not care about getting married. I really didn't care. I'm not going to go through the stories, but he wanted to get married. I didn't care. And for children reason, we didn't get married, right? Until 7 years later. And I did it just because he insisted. And the moment I got married, my entire experience of being alive altered.
Wow.
It's the context of my life altered, right? Because there is a declaration, we are choosing to be a couple forever until death do us part. So of course, death did us part 5 days later, but for those 5 days, I know. I mean, it's so tragic. It's just like
So
love
tragic.
bubble, right? I know, but for 5 days,
Yeah.
my context totally altered, and I got the same experience with his hair.
Wow.
Is that amazing?
I totally fully hear and get what you mean. First of all, I have to say, I love it. I think it's so beautiful. But beyond that, the freedom that you're expressing, just it is perfect for this conversation, because it's like when we just fully step into and accept what is in our lives instead of just fighting it and resisting it and wishing it was different and all the things, it's like.
And what you resist persists, right? What you resist persists. right?
It
So
certainly-
let's talk about denial, right? And by the way, I have no problem with a woman that have the courage to go on dyeing their hair, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I really don't have a judgment. So if you're listening to us and you're dyeing your hair, please don't think that this call is about telling you not to dye your hair. I mean, you know, I have to put a lot of makeup. I notice that I have to put lipstick because otherwise I look a bit washed up. I am now wearing pinks and blues. The browns are out of the way. So there is a lot of adaptation to be done. But that plus the call I had. So every Monday night, at
Mhm.
5:30, I lead my membership call, right? So the membership is a 1 hour call where we pick a topic.
Yeah.
And we talk freely so that we practice profound, deep conversation about any topic we choose, which is really great. And by the way, if you're not on my membership call, you should be on my membership call. It's fantastic. So the last week,
Yeah.
the last week call was about what are the conditions necessary to have a dictator, right? We're dealing with a war in Ukraine, with Putin. There is a lot of dictators in the world. What are the conditions, both personal and national and international, to have a dictator? Well, I proposed to study the path of Hitler so that we knew how could people like the Germans, so nice, allow Hitler to
Right.
run their countries, right? How do Russians allow Putin to run their country? Well, the reaction of my students was so intense. They did not want to talk about it. And I got that the source of the dictators, the source of the crisis, the source of the suffering is denial. We
Wow.
do not want to look at what is.
Wow.
Right? So growing older, having white hair, dictators, global crisis, climate crisis, economic crisis, what allows for those crises is denial. Right? And you know, I manage myself, and you tell me if I speak too much, Abby, right? If you have something to say or whatever, because I'm so excited about it. It's just, you know, I manage myself watching the news, right? And reading the news. So I read some newspaper from different country, I read the headlines, but I know that I can't read too much. And I don't have a television, but because otherwise it gets to me, right? So I'm really aware of what I feed my mind, because the impact of the outside information to my mind, I know, is important. But I read enough not to be in denial.
Right.
Right. So it's a very fine line.
So do you think that line is different for everyone? Or, I mean, how do you know when it tips? What's
Awareness. Awareness is the ultimate power. You know, you remember what I always say, Abby, human beings are designed for bliss. Right? When we are in bliss, when we are happy, we physically well, we sleep well, we don't overeat, we don't overdrink, we don't do drugs, we don't do whatever we do when we're not well, we don't get sick, we like that. Right? When we are stressed, anxious, not well, depressed, you overeat or you don't eat, you don't sleep, you even can get sick, you look bad, you get tired, right? So that's the logic for me. Human beings are designed to be well. Because your body works well when you're well and happy, right? So with that awareness, when you feel the tip like it's too much, you're going to go to believe that everything is bad, right?
Yeah.
Then you
start
need
to
to
get low energy or kind of feel depressed.
Yep. Yeah, when you feel a weight. I feel a weight when suddenly I feel like, "Ugh," you know, this weight falling on me. Then I go in nature, I talk to people, I get present to love, I get present to everything that nourishes me so that I can stay in the space of love, right? So awareness.
Yeah.
So let's talk about denial, for example, about aging, right? So I am a woman, so if there is a man listening to this call, they will have to tell me how it is as a man to age, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
But as a woman, right? So your beauty goes, you start, people start relating to you in another way. You know, when I was 20, 30, I would walk in a room, I would walk in the street, people will turn around and all that. Now you kind of become a bit invisible, or I don't really feel invisible yet, but you know, I can see it coming. My mother tells me, she's 84, that she feels invisible, that nobody sees her and all that. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's the physical aging, right? The beauty, the physical beauty goes. But if you bring awareness and education, right, and you study the feminine and the masculine, the feminine energy and the masculine energy, whatever your body is like, it doesn't matter if you're 15, 20, or 75 or 85. If you have educated yourself and have enough awareness to tap into the feminine energy and radiate that exquisite, powerful, loving, divine feminine, who is going to look at your body? And you will attract the matching energy, right? So do you see that? I mean, it's also perfect for me. Stop denying that your body is going to go down. It's going to age, but you,
yes,
not at all.
That's so beautiful. It speaks so much to me, to that experience of aliveness. Just this aliveness never has to leave you as long as you're here. You know, you can
my mom is 84, and I look at her sometimes when she has this delicious laugh, right? She's got that irresistible laugh, and she loves dirty jokes, which I find irresistible. And
that's really sweet.
Look at her and say, "Mom, you are so beautiful," and I mean it. And I mean it. Yeah. Right? So it's not a question of being fake and saying, yes, body doesn't matter. No, it does matter. It takes a lot of courage to grow older physically.
Yes.
But that's not, you're not doomed. Just put your energy at another level, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's clear that, of course, this conversation can be applied anywhere. And I think the first step in what you're saying that's so important is that we can bring our full awareness to the places where we're like, nah, I don't want to see that, blinders, you know, and that there's actually a process that happens in the body of accepting what's true and then turning towards what is enlivening or what keeps us full of life, as opposed to getting lost in whatever the fear is or the it's so really beautiful.
Yeah, so you know, Abby, how I am, right? I just suddenly got denial as the answer of all the problem we have. So I dive in, I get some books, I listen to teachers, I do all sorts of things, right? So I'm reading this book, which explains why we are in this systemic global crisis, and that it's not going to get better. Now, I've been saying it for 3 years. I talk about the shift from Homo sapiens to Homo spiritus, but I don't give details about the
Right.
consequence of that shift, right? Like I keep saying to people, okay, you were a worm, you're in a cocoon, the worm needs to dissolve and then the butterfly will come out. That's the best we can hope. And we in the dissolving cocoon time, I'm sure it is not comfortable for the worm, okay? Because they become a mush kind of
Yep.
thing. Okay. But this book tells you in details. It was the toughest book I have ever read. It is so, okay, I'll put the name of the book underneath, but it is the simplest, most understandable, scientific and realistic explanation of why we are in a crisis, right? I tell you, it was really tough to read, right? And like I said, I didn't read all of it because after a while I thought, okay, I got it. Nothing, everything we're doing has enormous consequences. Then they wrote a second book, which is a little bit the way out of hell, right? So
Right.
I just grabbed that one. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see me?
I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, my computer just kind of collapsed. Okay, so I got, oh, wow, I don't see you at all. Oh, there you are. Okay, okay, well, so then the second book, and that warmed my heart, right? They said, it is not by changing energy, by stopping fossil fuels, by not drinking, no, what is going to alter, and I haven't finished the book, right? But what is going to alter and make everything possible is a new culture for humankind. It is community being for each other. And it's not protecting yourself, going into survival, putting yourself somewhere away from people where you have your own water and your own food, because you will be attacked and you will get in conflict. It is actually getting that it's either everyone or no one.
Wow.
And that, Abby, you see, I could get to the second book just by having the courage to look at the first book.
Mm.
And that so resonated with me. Only love and support and being for each other and integrity and having everybody with a roof over their head and enough to eat and being together will give us a chance to actually not go to extinction, right? I know.
Love that.
I know. So I just really got denial, right? If we don't have the courage to look at what is, nothing is ever possible. Because that which you do not see and look at, you're the slave of.
Whoa.
But
Yeah.
that which you observe, accept, look at, then you become the originator and you have a choice. That is why the Buddhist said the source of all suffering is ignorance.
Mm.
I'm so excited.
I know. I love that. I love that you get excited and then you're ready to bring it into the world.
I know. I feel like I find another way to tell people, okay, you have to just do the self-development and the spiritual development necessary. You need to look at the design of human being. You need to look at the consequences. You need to look at what is happening in the world. You need to look at the crisis, because it is only when you look that you will have a choice. So. Oh, look, Donna is here. Hey, Donna, you love this conversation. I know. Donna knows about denial because she did a number of me with COVID. Okay, I won't say any more than
Sophie, this actually might be a perfect moment to talk about your next seminar, since it is on this topic.
I know, isn't that amazing? Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing? The next seminar
Yeah.
is a way out of insanity, which we created before I went gray.
Before this whole thing.
So, you always reap what I learned. Donna is
Yes.
making me laugh. She said, I sure do know about a lot about denial. I learned a lot, laugh out loud. Okay. So yeah, the next seminar is a way out of insanity. It's a new culture for humankind. Okay, we'll have to look at what is and then see, how do you get power? How do you give power?
Yeah.
It is not going to be by making yourself safe. It's going to be the community and global. So that's the next seminar in April, right? When is it?
It starts April 11th is the first day. And then we have 4 sessions as always.
4 sessions, 1 hour and 15 minutes.
They're
Conversation.
super interactive. Yeah, it's very conversational, lots of interaction. And what I do love about this upcoming seminar, if I could just say, is that there's a great progression of the sessions, and we talk about the self. How do you get out of insanity? First with yourself, then in your relationships, then in the world. So there's a really great progression of how do I apply that process to everything.
Yes, how do you create the new culture for humankind, right? I mean, step by step by step. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So we would love to have you, everyone, come join us. The seminars are very, very fun.
All right, and share about denial. Share about denial. Just look at anything you don't want to look at. It's a sign, right? When you don't want to look at it, just look. That's where you have to look.
That's how you know.
Yeah, that's how you know. I don't want to look. Okay, look.
Okay, yeah, definitely
And
look.
it's not to, by the way, it's not to wallow in what doesn't work, right? Because when I read the book on everything that didn't work, I just got to the second one so that, I didn't stay with, okay, I got it. Nothing works. We are destroying everything. Okay, good. I get it. Okay, now what? Right? So
Yes.
I'm not advocating wallowing into despair.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a really great and important distinction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my darling. Let's see all the comments we get.
Yes, we can't wait to hear from you all.
All right, I think oh no, I put us on Facebook, so I'm ending the call. Okay, everybody, love, 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 love. Bye-bye.